Welcome into Digital Serve. I'm Prim Saripapat alongside ESPN tennis analyst Patrick McEnroe here at the site of the 2013 Wimbledon Championships, talking about the gentlemen. Still the shock factor lingering after Rafael Nadal was upset in the first round. You have to wonder how that's going to affect that particular side of the draw. It might actually conceivably help the American John Isner as he will be taking on Adrian Mannarino. So how do you think that's going to help him or maybe hurt him?
Well, good question. I mean, Mannarino is actually a pretty talented player, so it's not a gimme of a match by any means. So Isner, obviously, he's had some big wins in his career. He's beaten Federer, he's beaten Djokovic. He knows how to play against the big players, but because of his style of play, he's also susceptible to bad losses as well. And he's never really played that well at Wimbledon, despite that epic match with Mahut. He hasn't really played great. So I think this is a great opportunity for him because I think he played well in his opening round match. He looks to be in good shape physically. If he can get through this one, maybe Leighton Hewitt in the next round, which would be dangerous as well. But overall, with Nadal out of that section of the draw, certainly there's a great opportunity for Isner, maybe Hewitt, one of those guys, to make a run to the quarterfinals or better.
And now everybody has their eyes on the Cinderella. Steve Darcis, ranked 135 in the world, only had 2 wins this entire year heading into Wimbledon. Now he's got 3. So how far do you think he can go, Patrick?
Well, a lot of times when you beat a big player like that, and he's had so much attention, he's been doing press all day, that can be difficult to come back. He's playing Kubat in the second round. I would venture to say that Kubat's probably the favorite in this match. So for Darcis, it's going to be difficult, I think. He's probably going to be on one of the outer courts. He plays Nadal, on court number 1. So a much different atmosphere, and he's had to deal with all this attention that he's not used to. Obviously, he's a good player. We saw that the way he played on grass. He beat Berdych before at the Olympics last year. He's capable, but something tells me he might be in for a letdown.
Interesting. All right, but so even though Rafa is out, you still have 2 of the big 4 dogs hanging in there, Andy Murray and Roger Federer in the bottom half of the draw. So Murray, the second seed, he will take on Yen-Soon Liu, ranked 70 in the world. What intrigues you about this matchup, Patrick?
Well, what intrigues me more is Andy Murray later in the tournament. I don't think he's going to have any trouble with Liu. I think Liu's sort of tailor-made for Murray to win this match pretty easily. And now that Murray has won a major at the U.S. Open, he's won the Olympics right here at Wimbledon last year, I think in a lot of ways there's not as much pressure on him. Obviously, they haven't had a winner here for, well, we know how long, a long time.
Very long,
so that
1936.
Yeah, that pressure's always going to be there, but the fact that he's won a couple of these huge events within the last year will help him down the road. Now, of course, he's still going to have to maybe get through Tsonga in the quarters, probably Federer in the semifinals, but Nadal's out, so that opens that up. Nadal's probably the one guy that he really didn't want to play late in this tournament to get to the championship match, more than likely to take on Novak Djokovic if he gets that far. But I don't think that Murray's going to not win this tournament because of the pressure. I think he's just going to have to get beat, he's going to have to get outplayed, and it's going to have to take a very good match from someone to beat him.
Last but not least, Federer, who many would expect this might be another routine match, faces a Ukrainian 116 in the world. How do you think he's going to fare?
Well, he's the man. I mean, he's the man of Wimbledon. He's going for number 8, so he's certainly not as dominant as he was back in his prime, but he's still awfully good. And we saw what he did last year. He beat, he didn't win the Wimbledon title through the back door. He beat Murray, he beat Djokovic in the semis, and Murray in the final. So 2 of the best guys on this surface. So he's capable, more than capable, of doing it again. That being said, I would put Djokovic as the overall favorite and Murray just slightly behind Novak, but Federer certainly capable of doing it.
It'll be interesting to see what transpires. Keep it logged on right here onto our tennis page on ESPN.com. For Patrick McEnroe, I'm Prim Saripapat.